Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Amy Crane, Social Lab Marketing. So excited to hang out with you guys today. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Really excited about the new changes to Ads Manager and Power Editor that Facebook has been rolling out. So if you don't have access to it yet, don't worry, you should be getting it in the next couple days. I got access to Power Editor, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then I just got access to Ads Manager last week. And let me tell you, they've done so much to Ads Manager. It looks so good, it's so sleek. Really excited about all the changes. I think that Ads Manager might be giving Power Editor a run for its money now. So we're gonna take some time, we're gonna walk through Ads Manager. I'm gonna give you a tour, show you where everything is, all the different buttons. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. So, and it's completely different. So I've had to go in and play around a little bit to figure out where everything is. So I'd love to know, type in the chat box, let me know if you've got the new Ads Manager yet, if you've had a chance to play around with it, or if you've still got the old one. Don't worry, you'll get it. So we're gonna go through Ads Manager and then we'll pop over to Power Editor and we'll go through Power Editor. They've made, it wasn't as much, they didn't make as many changes to Power Editor, but the changes that they did make I really like because I think it's made Power Editor, it's not so clunky and it's easier to organize and to move things around and to work in. So I'm really excited about that. So just a heads up, you guys, as Facebook, when they roll out these big changes like this, sometimes things get funky, sometimes there's glitches. So if you're running into some issues, that's pretty normal. You know, maybe just give it a day or two or try it a couple hours later. Facebook's usually pretty good about fixing those things, but I've definitely seen some funky things going on. So if that happens to you, don't worry about it. I'm sure Facebook will we'll fix it. Also, one of the other changes that's coming to Ads Manager is now instead of when you created an ad set and you tested a couple different ads within your ad set, Facebook would basically pick which ads they thought were going to be the most effective, and then they would distribute those into the newsfeed. So you might have some ads that got more distribution than others, and every now and then you might have an ad that just got weeded out before it even got a chance to get into the newsfeed. Well, now Facebook's going to change that up. So all of your ads are going to see even distribution in the newsfeed. So, so every ad is going to have the same chance. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see it. They're rolling that out, so you might just want to keep an eye on your ad sets and your ads and see how they do. I still recommend keeping the number of ads that you're testing in each ad set to 2 or 3, maybe 4, depending on your budget, just because you still want to make sure you've got enough budget for each of those ads to get out in the newsfeed. So if you're trying to cram 10 ads into an ad set and you've only got $5 a day to spend, you're going to be spreading your budget pretty thin. So that's a pretty cool change. That's also something to keep an eye out for. So let's pop over to Ads Manager and let's start walking through this. Of course, if you've got questions as we go, drop them in the chat box. Let me know if you can see my screen okay. And let's dive into this. All right, so this is an account that I have. It's just kind of like a little test account that I set up, and I ran a couple promoted posts through it so we could at least have some numbers, some things to look at and play around with. So you'll notice it looks totally different, right? It's pretty snazzy, but it's completely, they've really changed up the layout. So this will be the main screen that you see when you come into Ads Manager. So we're just gonna go, we're gonna start at the top, and then I'm gonna walk you through all the different features. So here's what we've got. Manage ads. This is gonna be the main page. This is where you'll see all of your ads, all your different campaigns. That's pretty easy. You've got your account settings, your billing. So if you need to go update your credit card information, or you wanna pull your what you've paid that month, you can go in there. Of course, you can go straight to Power Editor from here, and then under Tools, this is where they've put our audiences. So if you want to create a new audience, you'll just click there, and then it'll pull up all of your audiences. I don't have any created in this account, but you can create a custom audience, your lookalike audience, or your saved target group. So all of this still works the same. No big changes here, but it's just moved around. It's just in a different place. You can still pop over to Audience Insights. I always recommend, especially if you're starting a new ad campaign, if you're just not really sure what pages to target, come over to Audience Insights, play around, type in some interests, see what other pages people like, all of that good stuff. So you still have Audience Insights there. Of course, you've got your conversion tracking, right? This is really important so we can actually track how many people are signing up. These are just a couple test conversion pixels. They're not actually installed, so that's why we've got these big red flags here. But you'll come in here. This is where you'll create your pixel. Green button up here, create pixel. And then you can also just keep an eye on all of the other pixels that you have set up. Pages, if you manage a lot of pages or you run accounts for other people, this is going to give you a full page, a breakdown of all the different pages that you manage. And you can also go to advertisers support. So if you're running into some issues, their support's usually pretty good about responding within 24 hours or so. So if you run into any problems, you can just pop over there. All right, so a couple other things we've got here that I think are pretty cool. We can adjust this. I'm going to come over here to the right-hand side where it says last 30 days. The default, it's going to be 30 days. So it's going to pull your most recent campaigns and all of your conversions, clicks, all of that good stuff for the last month. If you want to change this, if you want to see it for just yesterday or the last week or the last 2 weeks, you can come in here. Or if you want to pull a specific date, totally up to you, but it's going to be set to the last 30 days, which is cool. We've also got some filters in here. This is helpful if you've got a lot of ads. Like I have clients that have, tons and tons of ads. And so sometimes going and trying to find an ad, it's hard to dig through and figure out where it is. So you can filter this based off of delivery. So active ads, scheduled ads, ads that are pending, not approved, inactive, not delivering, or deleted. The other cool thing you can do is you can just pull based off of the objective. And I think this is really cool. You can go back and look at how all of your like campaigns did. So you can actually compare all of your page like campaigns. So if you select this, it's going to pull all of your campaigns with that objective. So you can do clicks to website, website conversions, all of that good stuff. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. So especially for website conversions, you can go back and compare all of your ads for website conversions and see, what was working, what didn't work, where there's some similarities between the campaigns that did work. Just think there's some cool information you can find in there. Now we've also got metrics. So if you want to break this down by the actual cost per result, action, impressions, frequency, all of that good stuff, you can also break it down that way. Or you can just search by campaign name. So that's going to filter, that's just different ways to look at your ads, how they've performed. I think it's pretty cool. So I would probably play around with that a little bit. Now over here, the see where things are now, you'll get little notifications. I noticed that when my ad was running, it popped up and said, my relevance score was a 9 out of 10. Another time I came in here and it had the link for the pixel helper because it noticed that my pixels weren't actually installed. So you'll just get some notifications here based on what's going on in your ads manager. And then this is pretty simple. It's just going to be a breakdown of your spend. So let's get to some of the good stuff down here. So columns, instead of having to pull reports, now everything is in one place. Everything is here so you don't have to go pull separate reports. So if you want to come see how well your ad's performing, you can do this based off of performance. You can do this based off of delivery. So this is set to inactive. Engagement. So it's going to break down your different, people taking action, post likes. This is the important one, video engagement. If you are running video ads, I cannot stress this enough. I talked about this last week in my video, and video ads are great, but you've got to come in and look at your metrics, because here's the thing with video ads, at least before, you would get a report saying, or when you would log into Ads Manager, it would say you've had 500 views and you're paying a penny per view. But Facebook counts a view as anyone that's watched over 3 seconds. So maybe they only watched 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So if you come in here, you can actually see, and none of these were video ads, so of course the numbers aren't going to be there. But you've got your video views, so you'll see how many people watched for 3 seconds or more. Your cost, 10 seconds, so they watched at least 10 seconds. But if you keep scrolling over here, this is where it gets good. This is going to be the average percentage of your video that people watch. So did they watch 30%, 60%? People that watched up to 25%, 50%, 75% of your video, and then 95 and 100%. So you can actually see how much of your video people are watching. So this is really great. You can come in here, and if people are only watching 10% or 25% of your video, you know, you need to go back and make some changes, make your video a little bit more effective. So if you're running video ads, it's really important that you take the time to come in here and look at those numbers. You also have, if you're running apps, if you're running carousel ads, those are the multi-product ads where you can feature up to 5 images in an ad. So this will give you a breakdown of those, and then performance and clicks. So this is going to give you, again, you got your click-through rate, cost per click, impressions, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to go back to performance. Now we're going to pop over to breakdown. So this is where it really gets fun, and you can actually dive in and figure out who's clicking on your ads, where they are in the world, all of that good stuff. So here we've got a breakdown. We can do this by age, gender, country, region, placement and device, product ID. So I'm going to go ahead and select age and gender because I want to see, you know, am I getting guys? Am I getting girls? How old are they? So this is really great, especially if you're trying to narrow down who's clicking on your ads. You know, usually you start a little bit more broad and then you can start to narrow down. So and you can also sort your columns, right? So you can sort. So let's see here. We've got 12 clicks from female, 25 to 34. That's not super surprising. It's not really surprising to me that most of my clicks are coming from females. Most of my audience is female. So that 25 to 54 range, especially the 25 to 44, seems to be a sweet spot. We do have some guys. I get some clicks from the guys. But you can come through and look at all of your ads and see where you're getting the most clicks, what age group, and are they male or female. So when you are starting a new campaign, you can gear your ads, or you can narrow down your targeting based off of their age and their gender. You can also break down by country. So if you're targeting a couple different countries and you want to figure out where you're getting most of your clicks from. So these ads were going to Australia, Canada, the UK, and the United States. Most of my clicks come from the US, not super surprised by that, followed by the UK, which makes sense to me. That seems to be about right. So, and actually, I usually don't target Australia because I don't get a ton of clicks from Australia. I usually just target the US, Canada, and the UK. So you can come in here and see, you know, maybe you're targeting a ton of countries and you want to narrow it down to just the 2 or 3 where you're getting most of your clicks from. You can even break this down by region. So if you want to see, like, it breaks it down by states, everything. So if you really want to get crazy, figure out exactly where in the world your clicks are coming from, you've got that option now. Placement and device. So if you want to see, is most of your traffic coming from mobile, which I'm guessing just about everyone, your traffic, the majority of it's going to come from mobile. But if you've got a business where you're creating apps, or you've got a product that's geared towards people that use Apple products or Android products, you can, of course, narrow it down by that, but you can also see who's clicking. So most of my clicks come from mobile devices, people using iPhones. So, so that's good to know, right? So that information's in there. And you've also got product ID. And then you can also break this down by actions. So if you want to see exactly what type of phone they were on, all kinds of stuff, where they're watching your videos, Lots of great information. You can also break this down by time. So let's say I wanted to pull this report every week. I wanted it broken down by age and gender. You can set this the way you want. You can customize all your columns. And then if you come up here, you can save this report so that you're not having to go through and lay out your columns and what you want, what numbers and breakdowns you want to pull. It'll save your report, so every time you come in here, you can just pull that report and you are good to go. So I'm going to clear this and go back to the beginning. So now let's click on one of these and just see what it looks like when you click in here. So even more graphs and cool things to click on, right? So let's start up at the top. So you're just gonna see, so this campaign's off. It's gonna show your delivery over here on the right-hand side. It's gonna tell you your objective, how much you spent, and when your ad was running. So we've got our performance, this first little graph that we've got. Now this page post, this was a post that I put up today for the webinar. It only ran from like yesterday to this morning. So normally you'd see a little graph here. You're gonna see a blue line. It's gonna be up and down based off of your conversions or your engagements. So up here, this blue part up here is gonna be your results. And then down here, this yellow is going to be your cost per result. So you'll see yesterday I had 21 post engagements at a cost of 22 cents per engagement. And then today I had 17 at the same cost. So you can come through and see, you know, okay, a couple days ago my cost was lower, yesterday was a little bit higher. It's just a kind of a fun thing to watch the graph, I think, go up and down. So over here you'll see your total results, how many people you reached and how much you spent. Now the cool thing, you can actually click on custom here and you can change this. So if you want to see, maybe I want to see cost per result, I can pull that. You can change both of these. So if you want to do amount spent, you could do amount spent. It's going to show you down here the daily spend. So yesterday I spent $464 and I spent $375. The longer your ads have been running, the more information you're going to have in here. But I really think it's cool that you can come in here and actually customize this and see exactly what you want to see. So you can change this up if you want. So now let's click on audience. Again, this is going to give you that breakdown of where most of your clicks, your conversions are coming from. So no big surprise that most of my clicks, my engagements came from women, and my posts reached mostly women because most of my fans on my Facebook page are women. Again, you can change this. So I can see where I spent my money. So most of my money was spent showing my ad to women. Again, that makes sense. You can do reach. Oh, we've already got reach over there. And we can do impressions. And same thing, you can change this one too. So if you want to change this up to see, and this is going to change all your little graphs here. So again, you've got male, female here, and then you also have the age group that's responding the most. So that 25 to 44 or 25 to 34 is the group that responds the most, followed by the 35 to 44 females. So that's good information to know. So if you click on audience, it's going to give you this breakdown for this particular ad. Placement, this is going to break down where your ad was shown. So this ad was only going to the news feed. So desktop, you know, mobile's killing it. Most of your clicks, your conversions, everything's going to come from mobile. That's why it's so important to make sure that all your websites, everything, opt-in pages, everything works on mobile, that it loads fast, and that it's easy to navigate from a phone. So no big surprise there. So we can actually click on this ad, right? And over here, if this is where we've got our whole breakdown, amount spent, schedule, targeting, you'll see who you're targeting. If you want to edit, you'll just edit your ad here. And it's going to pull up, you know, this looks pretty familiar, right? It's pretty similar to what it was like before. You can change your ad set name. You can change your targeting options if you want. Set your budget if you want to change up what you're optimizing for, and then your placement. So you can make those changes there. And then if you actually click on that ad, you'll see the actual ad here. So this was the actual ad. And so if I wanted to edit this ad, I could come in here. And so you'll actually see this is pretty cool. So when it pulls up the ad preview, you can edit the ad set and it tells you what campaign it's in. So if I wanted to change this post, I could change that post if I wanted. But it's really simple to edit and to move around and to navigate in this. I think they've got a lot of options. So again, so if I wanted to go back and edit the ad set, I would just click here and it would take me, it'll pull up the ad set so I can target, or I can fix the targeting in the ad set. So it's really easy to navigate. I feel like you can get to anything from just about anywhere within here. So that is pretty cool. All right. Let's see. So I'm pretty sure, I think that's all the big things in Ads Manager. To create your new campaign, you'll just hit create new campaign. And from here, it's pretty much the same setup. So you would just select, you know, promote your page and go from there. And it's going to be the exact same that it was before. You'll lay out your targeting, all of that good stuff. All right, so that's it for Ads Manager. Do we have any questions on Ads Manager? I'm actually going to pop over now to Power Editor so we can walk through Power Editor real fast. So again, to get to Power Editor, you'll just navigate, you'll just click here. I've already got it pulled up, but you'll just click there. You'll need to be in Google Chrome, so just always remember you got to be in Google Chrome. So this is that same account. Always remember when you come into Power Editor, you need to download to Power Editor. That way you're bringing in all the current information from Ads Manager into Power Editor. So it looks a little different. There weren't as many changes to Power Editor as there were to Ads Manager, but what I really love, so I created a test campaign in here just because I wanted you to be able to see it. You've got manage ads up here. We've got our audiences. So if you want to go create a custom audience, image library reporting, page post tools. So this is actually laid out very similar to Ads Manager, right? You've got your campaign dashboard, account settings, all of that good stuff. So the cool thing now about Ads Manager is just the actual layout. They've organized it. It's a lot better. It's a lot more clean. It's clearer what's going on. So you're going to have all of your campaigns listed here in the middle. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll see you've got a breakdown of campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So now everything's organized by campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So it's a lot easier to create campaigns, find campaigns. Power Editor used to drive me crazy because it was just all kind of jumbled together and you would have to organize it yourself, and now they've got that all taken care of. So here's the cool thing. So if I just want to look at this campaign, I'm only working in this campaign. Click the little chat box next to it, and then up here, you'll see campaigns one. If you hit apply, it's going to weed out all the other campaigns. So now the only thing that I'm going to pull up is this campaign. So this is what I'm working on. This is all I want to see. It's all I've got to focus on. So you'll just select that. Now to edit, if you can see this over here on the right-hand side, this little pencil, you'll just click that and it's going to pull the screen over, and now you can make all of your edits. So this is going to come into more, we'll use this more like with your ad set. So if I wanted to update this ad set, I'm going to click my little pencil, and then I can come in here and I can update my budget. I can update my audience, update placement, all of that good stuff. And then when I'm done with it, you can just slide it back over. Same thing with your ads. You can come in here and take a peek at your ads. If you want to edit this ad, pull it on over, and then add your headline, links, URL, text, headline, all of that, that good stuff. Setting it up is all pretty easy. You can create a brand new campaign if you want to start from scratch. So we'll just hit create campaign. We'll do test number 2. You'll select what your objective is. So if you want to go for website conversions, clicks, whatever, let's just say we're going to do website conversions. Then you'll choose your ad set. So we'll want to create another ad set. Let's say group number 1. You can select to use an existing, neither one of these pixels are actually working, but they aren't actually installed. But you can also create a new pixel if you want, and then you'll create your ad. So let's do image number 2, we'll say. Create. So now we've got our brand new campaign up here. So if I just want to pull up this campaign, I only want to look at this campaign. Let's see here. We're going to X out of that one and we'll apply that one. Oh, well, it didn't work that time, did it? Let's clear that out. So whenever you want to clear something, you can just hit the little X up there, right? Okay, well, it's being silly. So test number 2. So I've got my ad set here. To set this up, I would just pull this on over and then update my ad set to whatever targeting that I want. And then I can move down to my ad and actually create my ads. If you want to duplicate your ads, you still have that option. So if you wanted to duplicate this and just swap out the headline or the image, it's a really easy way to do it. If you need to revert changes, so like by accident earlier, I deleted a campaign that I didn't mean to delete. So if I click that button, it's all good. It's not going anywhere. Delete, save audience. Export, import. This is if you are exporting and importing, you know, bulk ads. If you're creating a ton of ads, then that's where you'll do it there. So that's it for Ads Manager. And then once you're done, all you need to do is upload your changes. You always want to make sure you hit this green button to upload your changes back to Facebook. If you forget to hit this button and you hit download to Power Editor, it'll erase all of your changes. So if you've created new ads, you've created a new ad set, campaigns, whatever, you always want to make sure you hit the green button to upload those changes back to Facebook so that you're not missing out on, or you're not losing your work, right? And you make that mistake once or twice and then you don't forget to do it again. I know I've done it plenty of times by accident. So that's it for Power Editor. It's pretty easy. I think it looks a lot nicer. I think it's a lot easier to work. And I think the layout is really nice. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So if we have any questions, you can type them in the chat box. We got a couple minutes left. But I think the changes are good. Again, I would just keep an eye on Facebook over the next couple of days, maybe the next week or 2. It might get a little funky here and there. So if you see some weird things happening, that's not totally unusual. That seems to happen when they roll out these big changes. And also keep an eye on your ad set since they're rolling out that new feature for the ad set. So I'm really, really excited. I'm really happy that they changed that up. I think that that's going to be a good change. So all right, you guys, it doesn't look like we have any questions this week. You guys are quiet today. So we'll be back next Tuesday. And if we've got any more changes that pop up, I'll be sure to let you know about them. But keep an eye on your email. The email will go out on Tuesday, so you'll know what we're covering next week. And I hope you guys have an awesome week. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.